Hi there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing the introduction for my rotation project. Now one of the goals that I have for my makeup collection this year is that I want to become more familiar with it and making sure that I am rotating through as much of it as possible throughout the year. I have a lot of makeup so it is kind of hard, which is why I developed a system. So for certain categories in my makeup collection, I will be rotating certain items every month. And this is to complement my project pan, just to make sure that I still have some variety and some options within my project pan and my everyday makeup. I apologize if you hear weird noise. My cat is on my lap and she is purring and having the time of her life, but she can be quite loud sometimes. So if you can hear her, we apologize. So basically, this is like a shop my stash but more organized. I'm making sure that the amount of items that I'm picking every month is enough to make sure that I'm going through all of them, all of that section of makeup throughout a year. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's really complicated to explain, but anyway, the categories that I will be focusing on in this project are my blushes, highlighters, single eyeshadows, eyeliners, lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, lip tints, and lip liners. So what I did is that I wrote down all of the items that I have in each category and I put them in an app that randomizes it so that I get a surprise basically every month of what blushes am I going to be focusing on, what highlighters, and I don't know, I just thought it would be more fun like that. I know that when people do a shop my stash, they pick themselves the items, but I felt like randomizing the items would be more fun and it's kind of like a surprise for me every month. Anyway, let's get into it. The first blush that I will be focusing on, it's my Revolution Peach Bliss, I think that it's called this shade. And this is like a balm blush. I've used it a couple of times. It's a newer one to my collection. I don't know how much I like it, to be honest, but I'll give it a shot. I'll swatch it for you. It is a very peachy color. Well, it's called Peach Bliss. Again, it has that balm texture, so I had never tried a balm blush before. I figured I would try it. And I don't know how I feel about it, but it smells really nice. But I'll use it. We'll see how I feel about it. And yeah, the next blush is one of my favorite ones in my entire collection. And I was so excited when this came up. And it's the Bare Minerals Coral Cloud blush. This is a very nice blush because it is kind of blurry and it looks like skin when you're wearing it. I usually wear this when I have a big event like a wedding or I don't know, like a nice dinner, and people always compliment my skin when I'm wearing this, so I love it. For me, that I am very pale with a warm undertone, this complements my skin so nicely. I adore it. The next blush is my Floating Lights by Colourpop, and she's my favorite princess because of course. And this is a very cool tone pink. I haven't worn much of it, but I love it. I actually bought this entire collection when it came out, and I split the blushes and the highlighters with my mom because my mom has a darker skin tone, and so we usually do that. We buy an entire collection and we split things kind of like in half just to make sure that she has the blushes that are too dark for me and I get the blushes that are too light for her. And same with lipsticks and kind of like that. This blush is a little bit too cool tone for my taste, but we'll see how we make it work. So these are the three blushes that I will have in my everyday makeup, and I don't have any usage goals for these. I just want to see how much do I feel like reaching for them, and when I do reach for them, how much do I like the way they wear on my face. Now for highlighters, I will be working on 3 different highlighters this month, and the first one is by Physicians Formula in the shade Pearl. This is more of a cool tone highlighter. Before, I didn't know that I had a warm undertone. I thought that all pale people were cool undertone, and that's not the case. I am warm undertone, and so I do have a bunch of highlighters that are more cool tone. Therefore, sometimes they can't be as flattering on me. I do have to kind of adjust them a little bit. But for the most part, I can make them work. I'm gonna swatch that for you right here. It is really pretty. I hope that it catches it on camera, but I know that for a while, this was one of my most reached for highlighters. Now, the next highlighter is from a palette, which is called The Glow Standard by Laura Geller, which is one of my favorite makeup brands. And the shade that I will be focusing or having in my everyday makeup is this one, which is called Give It a Pearl. Also more of a white kind of highlighter, but that's okay. This is what it looks like. Honestly, they are both very similar in the sense that they have those pink specks. So we'll see how that works on my skin, but I'm actually really excited because I haven't played around much with this palette. It is kind of new to my collection, so I'm excited. And finally, the third highlighter is from Wet n Wild, and this is called the Golden Flower Crown. This is a very nice highlighter because it's kind of more like a champagne kind of shade, and I love this formula. I think one of these was my first highlighter ever, and I completely finished it. So this is like a favorite for me. That's why I bought this one, because I was like, I love it, I miss it. Anyway, I'm gonna swatch it. Yeah, this is way more flattering for my warm undertone because yeah, it's more of a warm shade and it blends into my skin really nicely without just like looking like it's sitting on top and it doesn't belong there, which can happen for me with more cooler undertone highlighters. Next, we have two different single eyeshadows that I'll have in my everyday makeup again, and the first one is by Jaclyn Hill in the shade Glassy. This is what it looks like. This is more of a topper than anything else, but it's really pretty. It has um, like a peach shimmering color. It's really nice actually on the eyes, so I am excited to wear that. Then the next one is a Super Shock Shadow by Colourpop in the shade Lighting Bug. This is what it looks like. It is a beautiful copper shimmering shade, and this is one of my favorite colors to wear, so I'm really excited to have this in my rotation. It goes very well with what I like to wear every day, both in a makeup sense and in my clothing. Now for eyeliners, we have three, and the first one is by Colourpop in the shade Pretty. This is from the Bambi collection, and I think I didn't buy that collection, but my mom did. And she gave me some of the highlighters because they were too light for her. So the first one again is Pretty, and it is a beautiful purple shade. It is cool tone, but I do like it on my eyes just because I'm actually wearing it today. I like this on my eyes a lot because it makes the green in my eyes pop really nicely. It is nice when I can wear something in my eyes that makes them pop because I have more of a dark green eye color. Sometimes it is really hard to tell that they're green unless the sun is hitting me or I have really good lighting. Next, I have another eyeliner by Colourpop. This is one of their gel eyeliners, and this one is in the shade Show Me. This is more of a copper shade, and although pinks and purples really make my eyes pop, I am more of a neutral kind of girl, so this one, I know for a fact that for a while, I reach for this almost every day. So this is what it looks like. It is really nice. And I do like this formula a lot because it just glides onto your eye with no problems whatsoever. It's so creamy. It is not irritating on your eyes. It is a really good formula. I have a bunch of these, but I need to start getting through them. And finally, I have a liquid eyeliner also by Colourpop, which is in the shade Diadem. Diadem? Diadema? Anyway, it is a liquid liner from the Harry Potter collection, and this one is inspired or belongs to the Ravenclaw house, which is my house. I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd. I love the books. So this is more of a dark blue kind of eyeliner, but really on the eyes, I feel like it looks kind of black. So it is really hard to tell that it's blue instead of black. So this is actually very wearable. Next, we have lipstick. And the first one that I have is by e.l.f. in the shade Vocal. And I really like this one because, again, it is such a neutral, warm tone lipstick. I love this kind of orange shade on my lips. It makes me feel like I'm Kim Possible for some reason. And also this formula is really nice, especially because I do like matte lipsticks. I know that they're not on trend anymore. People like to wear gloss or a lip oil over them, but I really like just a matte lipstick and you're ready to go. The next one is this lipstick by Laura Mercier in the shade Coral Nude. And this was a present from my mom, and I'm pretty sure she also got it as a present. And that once she tried it on, it was too light for her, so she gave it to me. This is a really nice shade for me because coral shades in general I think really flatter my skin. This is what it looks like. Now we have liquid lipsticks, and the first one that I have is one by Colourpop in the shade Hello Boys. This one is from their Hocus Pocus collection. I didn't buy the entire collection, but this was put on sale later on and I snatched it because I actually really like black lipstick. I know that it's not for everyone, and I have to be very cautious where I wear it just because I don't want to show up to work wearing black lipstick, but other than that, I really like it. And so this is what it looks like. My only problem with this formula is that it doesn't fully dry. So for a black lipstick, that makes it very, very messy, which to be honest, it does deter me from wearing this more often, but it is really hard to find like a full-on matte drying liquid lipstick. And I've bought a few of them, but once they dry, they always end up looking kind of gray on me, and I don't really enjoy that. So although I don't enjoy that about this, that it doesn't fully dry, I do like the color and how it dries down, even though it doesn't fully dry down. Like, it's not transfer proof. That's my problem with this one. And again, with a black lipstick, you really want that, but I haven't been able to find one. If you know of one, don't recommend it to me because I'm gonna no buy. So next liquid lipstick, it's also one by Colourpop, and as you can tell, I really like Colourpop. It is affordable, it is high quality, especially a few years back, which is when from most of the stuff that I have is from, because they really did put good stuff before they went into this crazy frenzy of putting out makeup every month. I'm sorry, every week, like a new collection. It's a little much, but anyway, this is from their Princess collection, and this one is in the shade Prince Charming. And as you can tell, I have used this a lot. Look at that huge tip. None of my other liquid lipsticks look like this one. So this one is definitely a favorite of mine, apparently. I haven't used it in a while. And this is what it looks like. This formula is really nice because it does not fully dry, but it dries enough to where your makeup stays in place. And particularly this one, because it's a light pink color, it does not get messy. It fades really, really nicely when you're like just going throughout your day or eating. So I can tell why I reach for this so much. Next, I have a liquid lipstick by Believe Beauty in the shade Grenadine. I really like this formula because it is almost everything proof. Like, I wore this a bunch of times when I worked at a restaurant, and it would stay on throughout most of my shift except when I ate. So just be aware of that. If you eat something greasy, it is gonna fade. This is actually what I'm wearing today, and I think that this particular shade of red looks really nice on me. Just be aware that it can feel a little bit drying on your lips. And this is what it looks like. Like I said, it's such a beautiful shade of red. I really enjoy it. And finally, we get to the category of lip tints. And for that, I only have two, and both of them are from Colourpop. This is not sponsored, obviously. And both of them are from their Just a Tint formula. I enjoy this formula a lot. I have gone through several of these ones. They are creamy. They usually look really, really nice on the lips. They fade really nice and they feel hydrating on the lips. And these work really well for the everyday, especially if you have a busy lifestyle, just because you can take them out, slap them on without even looking in the mirror, and you're good to go. The first shade that I have is Coral Kiss, and this is what it looks like. This shade is a little bit too bright compared to what I'm usually drawn to, but either way, this formula is a hit for me, so that's gonna be fine. And finally, the last one is in the shade Cherry Picking. This one is more of a brown neutral kind of shade, right up my alley. As you can tell, I've used this a lot, and I'm pretty sure it was my go-to for a while, because if I like roll it down all the way, there's a bunch of product used up. Like I said, I've gone through a few of these. Anyway, that's my version of a more obsessive kind of shop my stash. Like I said, I don't have any usage goal for these ones, except that at least I want to reach for them once. Next month, I will update you on how many times I reach for each one of these items, and then I will show you what the February rollout looks like. Let me know if you would like me to record how I reach for everything, kind of more like a shop my stash, where I show you where I store my makeup and me looking through the shades that got selected. I would love to do that as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, and let me know, how do you make sure that you're not neglecting a bunch of your makeup while you're project planning? This was the solution that I came up with. So, but if you have any other suggestions, please let me know. And if you are doing a project pan those shadows, level up, any of that, please let me know where I can go and follow your progress and cheer on you. I would love to do that. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye! I don't like creating unnecessary waste. Unnecessary. It got my interested. Make sure that, make sure. I think that before I didn't know that I had a cool tone. No, warm tone. It's because, sorry, full shade of gray. Not gray.